Hello and welcome to Tripod, the audio advertising podcast. And in this episode, we give you 5 minutes of expert advice about another audio media choice, digital audio. Okay, for our second type of audio, we turn our attention to digital audio. We defined it in an earlier episode. Let's have an overview. I say brief. I mean, there's a lot out there. An overview of what's available in digital audio. Where do we start? Should we start with streaming services like Spotify? I mean, that's just one, isn't it, of many?
Yeah, so Spotify is it's a worldwide streaming platform, and the way Spotify works is that some listeners are paid to receive the service and are ad free on airtime, and other listeners don't pay for the exclusive, so ad exclusive or ad non-ad service, so they receive ads. And you can do several formats on Spotify, from audio through to video, through to sponsorship. So you can target playlists. So you might have a playlist for cooking or for the gym work or whatever. And you can target, quite precisely, because you know where people are because they're connected, what style of music they're listening to, what behaviours there are. So that's on the music streaming side, I guess. But on the radio side for digital audio, unlike broadcast audio or linear radio, where you can do interactions with the presenters and promotions, etc. With digital audio, it is an airtime proposition only, because the feed is what you hear on the radio. So you can't specifically do a digital audio promotion, for example, if that makes sense. So therefore, digital audio is really about targeting your audience. So it's to be clear what the target audience you want to target and what action you want them to take. So digital audio campaigns can be geo-targeted to postcodes, to towns, to regions, or run nationally. But it is about working out that the gender, the age demographics, and also the interests of your target audience. So what data can you gather from the supplier, the digital audio supplier that you're working with, in terms of third party and synthetic data, to enable you to target that segment of audience. So it really is airtime only. And you should also think about the response mechanism that you want the listener to take, and make sure which is for all audio, but make sure when you do that your website reflects what you're asking them to do. We work with a lot of advertisers, or have done, I think it might cross my career, where you're asking a listener to take the action, and they go to the website and there's nothing that relates to what you've asked them to do. So it's really important to do that as a live advertising lesson from me. So I think it's airtime, it's targeting, and it's about using that as a sort of maybe a narrowcast piece of audio execution.
So what kind of things would you use digital audio for that you wouldn't use linear for?
It's precise targeting. So therefore, you know that your audience is 25 to 44. They are an SME, small, medium-sized enterprise, or they are interested in going on holiday, or they're interested in buying a second-hand car or a new car, or they're interested in days out or going to the theatre. There's data sets out there that allow you to specifically target those listeners with those traits or behaviours. So therefore, it's more narrowcast. So you'd underlay, I guess, your broadcast activity with the digital audio, which is more targeted. So I could target, adults 55 plus, for example.
And I think on that as well, there's more interesting things you can do in terms of yes, you can target audiences, you can geolocate to specific areas, run different creative perhaps in those different areas. You can unleash dynamic creative, which will be completely tailored to the audience that are hearing that ad. And also we can do at Octave some funky things, like we can understand how fast that connection of that device is moving, so we can understand whether someone's running or whether someone's traveling in a car, and tailor advertising towards their actual mood state at that time, actually what they're doing. And that contextually relevant environment is a lot more powerful place for an advertiser to be in. Someone, if they're on a run, if they're running, they're not going to be watching YouTube or watching something on iPlayer. They're going to have their headphones in and listening to audio. And again, that's being able to target people in these environments where other media can't play, I think is a real powerful place for brands and advertisers.
Trisonic's Howard Barham and Octave's Matt Rouse on digital audio. In our next episode, it's podcasts. Hit follow or subscribe so you don't miss that. And for more, visit trisonic.co.uk.